Have you been looking for some quick and simple ideas for your DIY Halloween decorations? Then you are in the right place. Make these decorations in just under 15 minutes. All you need is some watercolour paper, a black, purple, orange, brown and white watercolour, a paintbrush and some striped twine, string or ribbon. Start by grabbing some A6 sized watercolour paper. I've used an A4 piece and cut it down to A6 sizes. We will be painting 5 Halloween illustrations, so for this tutorial I have cut 5 pieces. We're painting a ghost, a witch's hat, a spiderweb, pumpkin and a skull. So let's begin. I'll be using my oval wash 1/2 inch brush and I'll grab 2 pieces of paper and use some of our black watered down mixed with some white to make a very light wash grey and faintly paint our skull shape and our ghost shape. Whilst waiting for this to dry, we can grab another piece of the A6 paper to paint our base layer for the witch's hat. I'm using my size 4 oval brush and using purple and black to make the hat shape. I'm going to make that hat curved at the top and then ruffled at the bottom, and then of course painting in the base shape. Next we can use the previously mixed grey to paint in our spiderweb, and then using the orange as a base layer for our pumpkin. Add a little brown to the stem at the top. Going back to our witch's hat, we can now add some more black to give off an eerie witchy vibe and add the ribbon at the base. Let's wait for that to dry and paint in some black eyes for our ghost. And with the grey paint, let's paint some lines at the base of our little ghostie and also some shadows at the back and the bottom area. Now to paint our tiny spider on our web. I've painted a little oval shape and then added 8 spider legs, 4 on either side. Back to our pumpkin now, let's grab our orange and brown. With the brown, we can paint around each pumpkin segment. Then to make a deep orange, let's mix our brown and orange together and create some shadows at the base and in between each segment, adding some of the orange on its own too, just to paint in some sections to show a bit of texture. Once happy with how your pumpkin looks, get some brown and paint in the stalk using some wet on wet effects. For our skull, I've decided to use a pencil to draw where the face will be, as this is a little bit more complicated. Firstly, I'm going to draw the eyes and then the upside down heart-shaped nose and of course the jaw with the teeth. I didn't like how high up I placed the eyes and nose, so just going to erase that and redraw them. Once happy, grab our black and paint in where you draw the eyes and the nose. Then to add depth and shadow, paint in where the indented areas on the skull will be with your black and blend the colour outward. Draw in the teeth and keep blending the outlined areas until you're happy with how it looks. Now the pumpkin is dry, let's also paint in the pumpkin face. I've decided to go for triangular eyes and then a zigzag mouth. Again, drawing in first with a pencil. Then some stem lines to show the curve shapes. I've decided that I want the pumpkin to stand out a bit more, so I'm painting some darker areas using my brown and my deep orange mix. It's now time for our final layer of the witch's hat. I want to add more vibrant purple areas and then some black outlined areas to give the effect of rolled fabric on the body of the hat. And also painting in some more black on the ribbon band. Then to finish off our spider and spiderweb, I'm going to paint in some eyes. We are now on our final touch-up for the skull, and we can move on to the next step. Just going to repaint the eyes and the nose as they did dry out quite light. I'll outline the teeth, add cracks to the top of the skull and other little fine details. Once you have made sure each illustration is dry, grab your scissors and we can move on to the next step. Place all of your Halloween watercolour pieces in front of you and one by one cut a neat border around each one. Make sure to be very careful when using your scissors for this part. If you would like to cut right up to your illustration, that's fine too, but keep in mind that you'll need to leave space at the top for a hole ready for our string. Once that step is finished, grab your hole punch and punch a hole in the top of each of your paintings. If you would like to make this Halloween garland but don't fancy painting the illustrations, they can be found over on my Etsy shop. You just need to print the pages at home and then cut each piece out ready for your decorations. Right, on to the last section. I've got my black and white striped twine ready to cut to size. I'll be using my DIY decoration as a hanging bunting on my fireplace. You could also use them as individual decorations to hang up around the house. Now let's finish our bunting or garland. So for this part, I'm going to feed the string through the hole and then come back around to the front and repeat that process. Then to make sure the illustration actually faces forward, I'm going to tie a simple knot at the top. What do you all think? I think this one's a great idea for anyone looking for a quick and easy way to spruce up the house ready for Halloween. I really hope you enjoyed painting along today, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great Halloween, and until next time, happy painting!